That's a lot of train. Must be all the toilet paper and supplies we need to help alleviate the lack that the hoarders have created. Just, what's next? The train was there, so whatever. I just been meandering through my brain, thinking about my biggest issue, and I think it's all our issues personally is fear. We all have a weakness, and it always comes down to fear. For me, it's fear of failure, fear of not being able to stand up to the expectations, fear of disappointing myself, which honestly, at the end of the day, the only person you really have to stand up to is yourself. Everyone else's judgment means nothing. The only judgment that really matters is your own. So when you're presented with a difficult situation, when you have anxiety about it, sometimes you got to stop yourself and say, what is the worst possible outcome? Let it go. What is the most likely worst case outcome? What is the worst potential outcome? Then what's the best possible outcome? And the best possible likely outcome? And then break it down into the most likely outcome, and then where you are currently. And if you're leading to a severe anxiety issue, sometimes you have to go to your source of the anxiety and lay out your cards on the table, call their bluff and say, I can't go any further. I've done the best I can. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Where do we go from here? Because most likely they know what they've done to you. They know they've overburdened you, but they've expected you to somehow come out on top. And sometimes when you're failing, actually I think most times, for me personally, most times when I'm failing in a situation, it's because other people are not pulling their weight. And I've taken on too much on myself. And then you feel you've come this far, you know, how do I get out of it now? And the best part is just to stop and say, I'm done. I can't go any further. Let's lay all the cards on the table, tell them I failed, and move forward from there. And put the cards in there. If the person who put too much pressure on you, the best case is just to throw it back to them and say, yep, I can't do any better. You're right. Where do we go from here? Because most likely, if you're working on a project is a good all-around term. If you're working on a project and you can't go any further with it, and you've come so far, you've gone out you're in the middle of the ocean without a paddle, in the middle of a boat. Motor's dead. Paddle, no paddle. Sail's broken. You're in the middle. All your resources are gone. The resources you thought you had don't exist. You got to call for help. Yes, it takes a little bit of shame to it, but the shame is only the fear of making yourself look bad in front of others' eyes. And again, no one else matters but you. And you shouldn't put yourself on the height of a pedestal, because the only person we are competing is with ourselves. And you really don't want to hurt yourself, so be good to yourself. Because when you're good to yourself, you're more likely good to others. The people who are worse to others are actually probably ripping themselves to pieces. So, you know, when someone's insulting you and causing you emotional pain, they're probably killing themselves inside. So you might get some kind of satisfaction in it because you're not doing it. You're not taking any responsibility for them beating themselves up, because you're a good person. But there's no reason to take the pressure off if they're putting pressure on you. And the best bet is just to lay out your cards on the table. So this is the situation as it is. I can't go any further. I'm sorry to disappoint you. And actually, I'm not sorry to disappoint them, but it sounds good. Because, you know, it puts the power in their hands. When they have all the power in their hands that they wanted in the first place, and then they realize they don't want that. They don't want this responsibility. They gave it to you for a reason to get completed, and you can't complete it because of them. Just go forward, do the best you can. Be good to yourself, be good to others. What's next?